Howdy folks, continuing my project to do all the daily targets in CSS Battle, CSSBattle.dev, doing recordings of solving the puzzles. Let's get to these from August 27th, 28th, an arrow, and 29th of August 2024. I feel like definitely this is one where my inclination is to do single conic gradient, and let's see if that's valid. I believe that is, so conic gradient, yes, and it's orange for 270 degrees width, or 75%, and then to the blue. So that's the base unit of the thing. And when you move it over 70 pixels or something, 70 pixels down, or 50 pixels and 50 pixels, and then you change the size of it. Like, okay, now that I make it repeat on the x-axis, or yeah, on the x-axis, and that's so you got an offset, pushes it down, and then it repeats according to the width. And right now it has a height of 100%. Once I give it a width, or it's got a height of 100%. Once I change that height to 100 pixels, then you get that regular thing. And then if you make it bigger, you get a different look. All right, so what I want to do is establish that pattern, and I want to make sure I'm going to make a single one of those tiles by adding a no repeat. So that's the actual thing. So I need to have it fit so that it would repeat cleanly. So so 150 is the width. That's great. 140, 130, 125. And then, so the center of that, so now when I let it repeat, looks like that. And that completely consistent error means that I'm on the right track. But I need to change the center of the conic gradient, which I do by setting an at, this AT. So now I have little tiny ones, but the same size tile, and I just need to keep doing that. 40, how about 40? And then how about 50? And that's it. I'm going to submit that. And that is definitely a way to do that, guys. So minify and replace. There are a lot of different tiles you could do. You can, so because that conic gradient is the rectangle, you could decide to put that blue in any of the corners and it would work. You just need to change the size is always going to be the same in this case, yes, or in any case, but the position and then the at values would be slightly different based on how you decide that. So that's that one. Let's do this one. This one I believe I did with very complicated clip paths in the past. I don't want to do that now. I would like to use the simplest possible clip paths. This could be done with many conic gradients. I just feel like it's so many that it's painful, and so let's not do that. Okay, so let's create some shapes here. I would like to just use triangles. Can I just use a triangle? So that clip path, if I make a clip path with a triangle at the top, so polygon, that's 3 points, so 50%, 0. Yeah, so 50%, that's the top center. And then 100%, 100%, so that's the bottom corner. And then 0, 100%, 100%. And that's how I get a triangle. I also think that the linear gradient on this element from left to right, so 90 degrees, and it looks like it's completely evenly spaced. So the bright red to the dark red. And if I set the center at 50%, that's that shape. So now I need to push that down. 100, 110, 108, and then set the height 135, 6, 7, 8. So I want to get, so I can, but with using the margins, I can make that a very narrow triangle, right? Or less so. 4, 5, 6, no, 4, 3, 2, to 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53. So something that's concerning is looking at the diff. It's a little different on the right than the left. So I'm going to set all these margins. I'll do 53 and 53, and then so that's currently what it is. And so it's 108 on the top. It was 108 on the top, and then 53 on the sides, and then 108 at the bottom. So now I've got 108 on the top, 53 this side, 0 on the bottom. I don't need any margin there, and then 53 on the other side. So if I change this number, increase it, I push that in a little. Yeah, that's not too bad. Sure. All right. Now, I think if I add transparent to this, to the color stops, then I can start to get that shape. I still need to cut out the bottoms of it, and maybe a clip path is the right way to do that, but I think I'd like to avoid, so I think I want to do another triangle to cover, I think. Let's find out. 25, 26, 27, 28, 28. And then this should be lower, 74, 73, 72. That's pretty clean. Okay, so what next? Let's make another triangle. So a new paragraph tag that's going to be transparent in the middle and then be lower and cover. So here's what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to variabilize the background bar B or this big linear gradient. And I'm going to kind of copy and paste it because this is a covering one. I do want the solid color. And then I want a single color stop in the middle. And I'll do it like at, 40%, maybe 30% and 70% are the color stops. And then transparent in the middle. Actually, I'll do black here. I'll put black because, why? Because I want to be able to see this thing. It's because it's all the background color. I won't be able to see it unless I have something, if I'm slightly in the wrong spot. So let's do margin. Oh, I gotta variabilize the margin as well. The margin. We want the same identical triangle, so probably we want to variabilize just the top margin. We'll call that, actually, just to remind ourselves, it's the top margin. We'll call it dash dash t. Dash dash t, that's minus 100. there's something. Okay, so I gotta see. So we're not seeing anything because this linear gradient is invalid. It's got 2 parentheses. Yeah, there we go. So 35, 65, and now I can make this transparent. So that's a way to get that shape. And now let's adjust this number. Is it 80, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 35, 36, 37, and now we're going to adjust the color. So we got the top margin correct. So 38, 39, 0.5, 0.1, 39.1%, and that looks like a clean line. I definitely don't like the top angle here. The diff looks like we have some problems there, but it might be okay. 4, 3, 2, 1, 60.8, 0.9, 61, 68.9. No, what was it? 60.9, 60.9. All right, let's submit that and see if we're in the ballpark. I mean, we've made the shape, right? Like it's visible, and that is 100% match. We'll take it. We might be able to. What if we take away these decimals and resubmit? We got to do them one at a time because that's a little bit tricky. Nope, that's so that's then at 99.9%. So yeah, this is one of those ones where it takes some decimals. So I'll minify and unit replace, make sure it still looks the same, and submit, and that's a completion. Yeah, that's great. Super great. Okay, are there other optimizations we can make here? Nah, not really. So this one I would always do with a bunch of conic gradients. Today, let's not do that. Let's put this on the body and set margins. And then let's do a border. Border, solid, purple. Actually, we're gonna make 2 of these. Var C of the color, and then there's a width. Var border width. Actually, we'll call it B for border width. Looks like 50 pixels, something like that. All right, let's push them down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 60, 61, 62, 63, 65, 66, 67. And he is 100 tall. That's great. Our second guy, P plus P, his border width is less. So it's whatever this is, 25. So that's the B value, 25 pixels. And then let's set a garish color. And then margins minus, there he is. So I need 4 values here, I think. We're gonna find out. 100 minus 200. Okay, so that width is too tall. How about 20 pixels? And I think that means we need our height to be taller, or yes, we need the height to be taller. So height here. Actually, we just do 200 and then we don't care. All right. Then we need margins to push in, and then this one pushes in as well. 60. Actually, that doesn't matter. So now we're gonna set the color correctly. It's this color. Is that it? Oh, 110, 115, 16, 17. So the height, we can make a variable var --h, comma, and then I can do this. There's not much we can optimize in terms of how I've done it, reusing any of the margins from the first to the second --m. And again, these numbers are uneven, partly because I didn't unset the margins on the body. If I did that, if I did margin 0, everything would move just slightly, and everything would be a little off on the x-axis. That's fine. We don't need to do that. All right. Oh, and then so I think I inadvertently exposed. Those are our two shapes, right? We have two overlapping bordered elements that share certain aspects. Yeah, that's it. Those are great, and I'm glad I did that, not using my traditional conic gradient, which was my go-to here. All right, unit replace. I already minified. Let's submit. Oh, and I haven't submitted yet here today. That's my confidence level in matching there, because it's got no angles and it's got no curves. I'm pretty confident about the match there. Normally I would be double checking as I did here. Here, several decimals. 1, 2. Oh, I guess just 2 decimals. So that's fine. That's not too bad. And I guess I could use pixel values here, but that's good. That works. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great day. It is an absolutely brutal time here in 2025. So be good to yourselves and take care of each other. And hey, go make a web page, okay? Everybody's got web browsers. They're carrying around web browsers. You can make them a web page and send it to them. It's pretty cool. All right, bye-bye.